Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, good evening.
Hello, welcome.
Very exciting to be here back live on YouTube to talk about X-Files Kitten,
Yeah,
Season 11, Episode 6. And I am just super stoked for this episode. I say that a lot, but I think this season is one of those seasons that you have to
hey,
say,
Kelsey B.
hey, Kelsey B, how you doing?
What's up?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
All right.
I think it's safe to say, like this season, every single episode is as good or better than the last. You know what I mean? Like it just keeps getting better and better. We're just more and more entrenched. The arc. You didn't like this episode? I mean, it's
No,
tough.
this was great.
Oh, okay.
Funny Ginger's back. What's up?
Hey, I just enjoyed this episode, and I thought it, like I said, one tweet, a well balanced script. You know, there's some gems in there for us diehard fans from the past 25 years or whenever you jumped on ship for this thing, right? And there's some really interesting stuff. And then it was a rule, that ending, moving backwards. Two things. The very last ending, how old school was that?
Yeah.
With government conspiracy, testing something. I was thinking, what was the episode where they had like the stuff in the phone or the TV and the woman at some point like kills her?
Yeah.
Right? I forget that episode. I always forget the names. I'm terrible with
Conduit?
names. Is that Conduit?
Is that Conduit?
Maybe.
Might be Conduit.
And they keep seeing messages like kill, but it's not the one where it's like the Ghost in the Machine though. That's a different one. Not the Ghost in the Machine. What's the one with like the guy from Bob?
No, Conduit's with the little kid.
Oh no! That's season one.
Ghost in the Machine.
Ghost in the Machine's not the. Isn't
No,
that
it's
the
the
computer?
other guy that's working in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the post office or something, and he just kill like the ATM messages. No, I don't think that's the one. There's
I don't know the
another
name of the
one.
episode, but we've seen it. Oh, that's not the episode.
No, what's the? Oh, maybe that is. Is that the one with the housewife and the microwave?
He's like sitting there, and then these things flash on his. He's like in a cubicle.
Right.
These things like flash on his
right,
telling him to kill people.
Well, no, there's one, and maybe it's the same
I'm just
episode.
Trying to get this all tweeted out.
No,
I know.
Talking. Maybe it's the same episode, and people can maybe comment over here. Where at some point, like one of the government workers is pretending to be like the telephone company guy, and he's retrieving something because the woman died, and Mulder I think goes after him, but there's like almost like a bullet shaped looking device that was in the telephone pole wiring or the TV signal wiring, and basically brainwashing people. And it might be that one, but it's but there's a lot of episodes that with the cows and the kids, right? The one where like you had the child pornographer, but the kids were also government experiments. You know what I mean? It wasn't a child pornographer, but he was in the wall taping the kids, had the cameras in the house, and then like a fake wall, a fake passageway. And
just reminded you of that?
Well, no, just in general, like all the different government conspiracy testing type things that they've uncovered. And then that's what the doctor and the cows, and there's a plane in that one where or no, maybe that's just the planes coming and going with the doctor.
Cloning experiments, and then of course it ties in the mythology of Samantha,
major
clones, and this was a separate thing because was there actually a monster, or was this all the agent making? Because he actually had a costume.
He had a costume at the end. But I think it's based on what the monster that his father kept seeing. So he became the monster that his father saw, and maybe he was a little nutty because his father, was he born while his father was in Vietnam, or his father come back? When was Davy conceived? Was Davy conceived post his, after his father was
I was poisoned? Wondering, who was that actually his father that was hanging? Did he hang his father?
That was his father. Skinner saw the spider. Himself? Good question.
Like, who killed his dad?
We don't know. And I think you could assume either.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think both stories. I kind of went back and forth in my head, but you could argue with everything that guy's been through.
Right.
James or John Kitten.
Everything
John Kitten James has been through. you know, if anyone's going to kill themselves, please, if you're thinking about it, reach out. We have friends, you know, blah, 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 blah. But
so it might have been the suicide.
that's a guy, he's been through a lot of crap. They showed what he was going through at, what was the name of the place? Broad, or the government facility where all the testing was going on near the town, right? Something was going on there.
It was this green chemical.
Yeah.
That was being released.
It was very much like a Joker gas from Batman. That green gas.
Yeah, a little bit. A little
bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things. I thought it was kind of like maybe throwing an Easter egg too. But again, we're working backwards because I think as much as I loved this
Wet
episode.
Wired. You're right. Wet Wired is the episode you're talking about.
Wet Wired, yes.
The episode after Quagmire. Thank you guys.
And what was the message you would find? He would carve on their chest, or somebody carved on their chest. That's not the he is me or she.
Yeah, it's a separate one.
No, that's something else. But they had something carved on their chest.
You ask me as if I know this stuff.
Know.
I
okay.
don't. You're always asking me.
Am I thinking Wet Wired?
I don't know. I don't know this stuff. Like, I'm really bad with this trivia stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm mixing a bunch of episodes, but like, there's a lot of episodes.
And you're always
out
asking
there.
me, like, I
know. I'm so bad. I'm hoping, and people could save me. I'm terrible at names. Now, episode 3. Yeah, the version of chemicals.
Yeah, the Wet Wired is when Scully turns against Mulder, and that's right. And he's colorblind, so he can't see the message on the TV. She watches like all the videotapes. It's like red, green, colorblind. Although,
as opposed to the time when he watches
continuity issue there. Like, is Mulder really colorblind? Because that kind of like hasn't been brought up again ever since, has it? Maybe one other time.
Maybe it hasn't.
Said he's red, green, colorblind.
It hasn't been an issue.
I guess.
Maybe that's why they're actually
just forgot about it.
That's why he says the aliens are gray.
Maybe
they actually are green, but because it's Mulder's show or Scully's show. But, you know, Fox Mulder says they're gray because they're actually green, but he's colorblind. So, but again, working backwards.
Yeah, Audrey's sister, Audrey, has the carving, and she is getting visions from her grandfather, and her grandfather's like haunting her.
But the teens though, and they find. Yeah, I'm actually picturing that.
John Kitten was wearing a uniform, so he probably did commit suicide.
That's right. Yeah, that looks like the Harry Carey kind of a thing in Japan when the warrior commits suicide. So and they put the uniform on, you know, like I am a soldier, I am an American.
Red Museum is the carve up. Wait, I thought Red Museum was like the cult, right?
That's the cult and the cows and the. Yeah. But are the kids dying? Oh, maybe that is. Yeah, maybe it is Red Museum. The kids are dying.
Don't ask me.
No, I think you're right. That is Red Museum. I was thinking it might be Red Museum. I'm mixing. You know what? I'm mixing all episodes together because this episode reminds me of a lot of different episodes, and all those episodes at different moments made me think.
Yeah, exactly. You were mixing all kinds of episodes together.
I know.
Walt is mixing. Let's start at the beginning. So before,
I want to backwards.
I want to go at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. 1969, Vietnam.
Yeah.
MK Naomi. Now we saw this in the promo video that we showed, and we talked about this a little bit because I wanted to know when we looked at the promo because I couldn't browse away from it. I wanted to see what it was, so I actually looked it up. So it's a code name for it's something real. It's a real thing.
He is one, right? That's what they carve on the. Yeah, he is one. Yes.
It's a code name for the Joint Department of Defense CIA research program lasting from the 1950s to the 1970s. Unclassified information about the MK Naomi program was related. Special Operations Division is scarce. Sounds pretty sketchy to me. It's generally reported to be a successor to the MK Ultra project, which they talked about in the.
And David mentioned MK Ultra.
Mulder.
You know what I mean. And I'm just tired. And then Davey, it sounded like Mulder did not know about MK Naomi, right? Like he didn't bring it up, or maybe he was surprised that Davey knew about it.
They said that they referred to tests being done.
Yeah, but he mentioned the other MKs. He mentioned MK Ultra and something else.
Oh, okay, maybe he didn't
Davey mentioned MK Naomi as if maybe Mulder did not know about MK Naomi, or maybe he was surprised.
She is one.
Yeah, so but there's
the spraying reminded me of the episode we see that people think electronics are telling people to kill. So is that the one that you were talking about? You're talking about Kill Switch, where they're like, there's also that too, which is the game. So Kirsch, so let's keep moving. Kirsch was Kerr seemed less, but he seemed just as sassy as usual, though. He seemed annoyed with Mulder and Scully and their conspiracy theories.
He's almost like he wished his
well.
buddy Mulder Skinner was more successful.
Right. He's like, you guys are the reason.
Different than 20 years ago.
No, he has not changed.
Well, I guess it's been 15 years?
Yeah.
Looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh my God. God bless him.
They did mention something, and I need to go back and watch, but Scully, when they went to go look at Skinner's apartment, they mentioned something about the William. They said, well, what about William and all this other stuff? So what did she say exactly? Because I missed it. She said something.
Well, I think they're more talking about, she in some ways is defending Skinner, and Mulder's a little more suspicious of Skinner at this point. There was this. She brought up William, and then she's talking about I forget the exact quote, but basically throughout the episode, she's more defending Walter Skinner, regardless of what's going on right now. That he's always been there. His moral compass they bring up a couple times, right? That whatever he's doing, we don't think he's turned to the dark side. Jillian does it.
This has happened. It's Scully. Oh my God, Walt.
I know.
So this has happened before, though. Like, they always seem to do this where they're like, oh, we don't really know Skinner, we don't really trust him, blah blah blah, and then he always ends up being a good guy at the end.
Yeah,
and being their champion.
Well, we know a lot more about him now. But we always have that
moment where they're like, oh, we don't really know him, and they even say that they're like, how well do we really know him? And then of course they think he's constipated.
Oh, he's got the prunes. Yeah, they make a constipation joke. He's got the prunes.
That's a cheap shot, Mulder.
Yeah.
Come on.
Guys of a
have
certain
a little
age
respect.
Need prunes, apparently.
Got to keep regular.
Yeah, I think they come free with every AARP subscription.
Skin Man was all kinds of sexy, bald, and beautiful.
He was the bald eagle.
Do they trust him? I'm confused. Yes, I think they do now.
Well, again, I think
Mulder knows something about. I think Mulder is suspicious of him because of what happened during my struggle when he did smell like cigarettes and he did disappear and Mulder couldn't get a hold of him.
He mentioned the cigarettes going into the apartment, right?
Yeah, so maybe Mulder is still a little bit, but I think it was really
more than a little bit.
It was a little sweet moment at the end when he says, because of you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Metamucil. That's what I thought. I didn't think it was prunes. I thought it was Metamucil.
I gotta read it.
But thank you for letting us know that, Kathy. Heidi ho. Yeah, so I thought that was something. I was like, because it didn't look like prunes, but I haven't seen Metamucil since I lived in my dad's house, and I swear the same thing of Metamucil that looked just like that.
Yeah, sat
in our medicine cabinet for like 30 years.
Yeah,
it was probably there when I went to go clean out my dad's house because it was like.
Is there a shelf life on Metamucil? It's like Tang for old people, right?
I don't know. All I know is it sat there for ages and ages and no one ever used it.
Right.
And it was always there when I opened up the medicine cabinet. Just this big thing.
Right.
It just sat there.
Well, now, the question is, do they trust him now? Because it wasn't exactly a pact to move forward. You know what I mean? It wasn't all of a sudden the three of them are saying, we're in this together now.
He pretty much said that he was going to find out the truth because of them. And
about Davy. Well, right.
To find out the truth. Right. I don't know about their truth.
Right.
That's a whole other
issue. I think there's an element of Skinner that he wants to find out the truth. He wants to be on the good side. And he's not convinced, not that he thinks Mulder and Scully have gone to the dark side, but he's not convinced that Mulder and Scully are on the right path to find the truth.
Right.
I think that's Skinner's struggle, right? Skinner's struggle is, Mulder. I love the idea that Mulder and Scully has given him the courage. It was a very powerful line, and it really sums up Skinner's path.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Skinner has not been on their side, he's not their ally in the sense that he is, gonna without question. He's not gonna necessarily follow him to dark alley without just cause, right?
Right.
But he is totally on the good side, but the problem is, the fake news, the truth. What? Official thought. We'll move on to that. Can he trust that Mulder and Scully are always going to be the right way to go? So it's not like they have an alliance.
Gene, you're out of time because I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
Keep up.
Yes.
A clean colon is a healthy colon. That is true. Skinner, make sure he takes up his fiber. That's always important.
Needs more coffee.
Kara's concerned that Skinner's tooth has fallen out. Well, what we saw at the end.
He's been in the town for a while.
He's been in the town, and people in the town, their teeth were falling. As we saw, they were these crop dusters were releasing these chemicals.
Now in like 3 to 4 weeks, well, not 3 weeks, but 4 to 5 weeks.
Kelly said, I think Skinner will do right by them. He has to stay distant, but in the end, I think he'll expose. Now, guys, I'm concerned because Mitch tweeted they went back and they filmed some other stuff after filming had already wrapped.
Well, you know what?
And he tweeted, this is the end.
That might be end for Skinner.
That's what I'm so, I'm going to be really mad.
Is he going to be the Han Solo?
He better not be.
Or is it, because there are a couple times.
Guys, I'm not cool with this.
Although I've seen the times.
It's out there. Nice one. Nice one, Kathy.
God bless Kathy.
You think he'll do right and expose CBG? I think so too, but I think he's going to die doing it. I think he's going to be sacrificing himself for them, and it's going to be
as much as I'd hate to see his story end,
I do not want to see that.
I do
not want to see that, guys.
Again, there's a very cleansing cry that's going to happen if Skinner falls on the sword for Mulder and Scully or for William. You know what I mean? That sacrifice, that story of sacrifice is powerful. And that's good stuff.
That's good stuff. So which episode was it when we saw Skinner's apartment floor with Krychek dangling from the balcony? Yeah, it was Tunguska, and then Turma was after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when they have...
was that the same apartment?
That was Skinner's apartment. Do
you think it was the same apartment? I really wasn't paying attention.
It might not be the same set, but it's supposed to be.
You know what's interesting to watch too? Somebody posted earlier. It was probably Dita and Mitch Pileggi's the scene with Mulder and Skinner from way back. I think it's the episode where he's found with the dead woman, right? And Mulder, Skinner's definitely in a holding cell, and he's not wearing glasses. Maybe he is at that point, but Mulder's kind of questioning him about what's going on. There's a lot. And it's one of those times where he talks about Vietnam. I think it's one of those few times where we've had insight into the past Skinner world. And he said, he wasn't a saint. He did some things. A lot of it's talking about this trial.
I just hope people who have teeth falling out are not going to all die.
And last, I don't want to see Skinner die either, but
I think he's going to get out
as a storyteller.
It might just affect him.
I can
minimally.
see doing it. I mix as a choice.
Skinner staying distance from Mulder and Scully to protect them.
Yeah.
So old Smokey doesn't get suspicious. I think he'll do good by him.
But also, is also a part of that.
I think he's always kind of done that. He plays both sides, but ultimately he's on the side of Mulder and Scully.
Right. Well, what did he say? He said, "I'm going to go back and kiss the ring." Did you hear him say that?
Yeah, I did hear him say that.
I'm going to go back and kiss the ring because that's what he has to do. He has to go play nice with Kirsch. He has to go play nice with the director and everybody else. But that's he's admitting to them that every time he's ever done that, he's done it like he has to do it. Mm-hmm. That's the only way he can continue to help them is by kissing that ring. You kiss that ring, you can continue to operate, like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. You don't watch Game of Thrones. Littlefinger is an evil beheadings
on that show.
He's an evil little twat.
I can't watch people get their heads chopped out. It hurts
Littlefinger survived for 7 seasons. Littlefinger
sounds dirty.
Yeah, but he's got his little finger in every little thing.
Okay, I'm done.
Not no. Well, he did run a brothel. Actually, he did run a brothel.
There you go. There you go. See.
But
we're gonna keep this PG.
But he was he was a pimp trying to be a king, basically. And he would just play everybody against each other. But no, he's the evil version of what Skinner does. But he would play nice with the kings and queens and then stab him in the back, conspire. But it's that kind of, I'm going to play nice to do what I need to do. Skinner is just a lot more
Chris Carter,
nice.
Don't you dare kill Skinner. I will find you. I will kick your ass. Liam Neeson style. It's not going to happen. Staying in the bubble with Skin Man is alive. Mulder is William's child. No one is bursting my bubble. So Kathy showed us the towers in Yaletown where Skinner had Krychek Not too far from the Landis Suite where we stayed when we were in Vancouver.
Ooh.
You pointed it out to us, but I was probably not paying attention.
So was anybody paying attention enough or remember enough?
From Mulder's Juices. Yes.
Oh God.
That would be Sculler Juices.
Sculler Juices?
Sculler Juices.
Scully Mulder?
Yes.
Sculler. Ooh. Can we just call those William?
Okay. Sure.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about this. We're going to keep trying to go through this. So they find the envelope with this ear in it. And then is Mud Lake a real place?
Oh, I'm going to look it up. I'm curious.
I just want to know.
Because
I would not want to live there. Although, you have some of these towns, and they're not even far from here. Like upstate New York, you have like Fishkill, Wallkill. You have some weird, like, Peekskill.
Mudlick.
So I wouldn't surprise me. And then you have all these towns in Pennsylvania, like Intercourse and Blue Ball. Blue Ball.
Mudlick is a rural, unincorporated community in Monroe County, Kentucky.
So it is there.
United States. It is concentrated around the intersection of Kentucky Route 63 and Kentucky Route 870. It's like a corner. Northwest of the Tompkinsville, yada yada. It's named for a salty stream that was frequently rendered muddy by animals drinking from it. Interesting.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, it's down south on the border of right down the middle, east-west wise.
I don't think I want to go
there. On the southern
there.
Border.
Unless you guys really, we could go there if y'all really want to take a trip.
Well, I'm sure that's not where they actually filmed.
I know, but just to say we were there.
We're going to do a cross-country. Okay, that's going to be the ultimate X-Files
van. We go to the real locations, not the actual
trip.
Building locations.
We're going to get a bus.
We already did the bridge in D.C.
Well, I say we're going to
the real bridge.
We drove over it. And then remember there was that thing, it was like a plane coming after us. It was like, was that an alien? Was a plane landing at
there's a national airport is there.
It was like all the way over there. It says, is that a UFO? It's a plane.
That was definitely a UFO. I saw it.
But we do get a bus and put all the X-Files into the bus. And we're going to drive.
Hand PA.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's funny.
Mudlick's a great name for a cover band.
Mudlick, yeah. Oh, we should tell David.
Call his van that.
Yeah.
Sounds better than what is it? The perfect.
They've already moved on from that.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Experts of perfection. No, not experts.
I can't remember.
Some
Cohite, Virginia.
Excrement of perfection. Oh wow. So we're gonna jump in Banjo County. Yeah.
The effed up beat said season 11 is the opposite of season 7. David is into it. Jillian seems bored. I think they both seem pretty well. I like what they're doing. I think both of their work in this. I think now when we're hearing interviews,
David and Jillian, or
I think like the actors themselves.
Oh, I love their work in this episode.
I liked all of them. However, Banjo Country. However, it does.
What was that
based
song?
on interview that Jillian this is done, and then there's an article that says Chris is talking about the future.
Says that though.
Yeah, but she's like
before
really,
season
really
10, she sounded like no,
really, really done.
And after season 10, she's like no.
But now she's like, I'm really, really done. And then Chris Carter's actually saying, because before he said like a week or two back, he was saying, no, we wouldn't do this without Mulder and Scully. And now he's saying, okay, we could do this without Scully. So, Banjo Country, yeah. Hello and good night. Good night, Maya.
Hey.
Get up in a couple hours.
Got you just in time. I'm surprised you're awake now.
Jillian seems really into behind the scenes. Yeah, thank you, Jillian, for giving us all these really cool photos. She's been tweeting some really cool photos out behind the scenes. I guess she must have just taken them over the course of filming and saved them all up and said, I'm just going to, you can schedule your tweets, your tweet deck. Probably just
we appreciate you if you want to come back. I don't know, unless you're dead already. Well, not Jillian, Scully.
Jillian, come talk to us here.
In our studio?
We're going to talk to... No, call us.
Oh.
Talk to David. Well, she can come here if she wants, but I don't know if she wants to come to...
We put a third chair at the table. We can't even
get David to come here.
I'll give her this chair. I'll sit on the side. Or just let you two talk. I'll sit on the side or just chime in as David. I'll be like the color commentary.
You can wear the Fox mask.
Yeah, I'll be like the Artie Lang on the Howard Stern show, but less.
No. Okay. Anyways, wait, did that come unplugged? No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear us still?
Can you hear us?
Just make sure. Are still being heard? We're here now because the modem is in that room, so I hope there's no lag today. Because I thought go down here. We'll go down to the basement studio. Even though it's a little chilly down here, we'll set this up and make it look nicer because we can control it a little better.
You know,
you don't think it'll work out with Scully?
I'm torn. Well, here's the question.
I don't think so either.
Here's the question.
Artie has nothing on you.
And here's the question. I was watching Crashing,
and
I was already standing. So here's my question. I'm going to shut up, let you talk, and let the comments comment.
Go ahead.
Did it work without Mulder?
No. But I think if Scully had gone too, it may have worked because it would have been a whole new, like a reboot thing.
Mm-hmm.
But since you had Scully there, and then Mulder and Scully were separate, and I think fans want them together, and they don't want them to be apart. And they didn't really give an explanation for where he had gone, other than just quote, "He's gone." That was not the right sloppy writing, lazy writing.
Right.
So fans were angry, and then parents were angry at David just for being gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were angry at the show in general for continuing.
I'm listening. I'm looking.
We had a happy ending.
Yes.
In existence, and then, no, it didn't. Deliverance. Oh yeah.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, you need the both of them, or you resolve their storyline and you let them go off into the sunset, go back to their boat, and do the show, move on with William or new agents, whatever. But it's going to be a different show at that point. It's not going to be the X-Files. It'll be it's a new thing, a new chapter. Yeah, there's a legacy there. Well, obviously the reason why we have no lag tonight, woohoo! And the modem is right there. So you have the history of the chemistry, and we're dead without that. And that's why when you have one without the other, it's kind of like, eh. And when they split apart tonight in the episode, I was like, no, don't split apart. Never good. And then Mulder just went running off. He's just like, bye, run. I'm like, what the heck are you doing, Mulder?
Yeah.
That's never a good idea. But Scully saved their asses, right? Like
it's kind of like, it was interesting. It's almost like
Scully to the rescue.
I wonder, and I was looking up the name because I really want to talk about the writer for this episode. For some reason, I thought it was a full cast and crew. Oh, here we go. So, no, this is Chris Carter and Gabe Rotter. Is that the writer for this one?
Well, Jillian had tweeted
or
maybe it was the director.
Or maybe she directed. Oh, okay.
It was
Carol Banker was the director. So this was a Chris Carter and...
I'm looking it up for you here. Oh, I've got pictures of Brick
Gabe
all over my
Rotter.
newsfeed.
Brick?
Well, I also have
Doug the Pug.
Doug the Pug. I tweet a lot of animal photos.
Yeah, so Gabe hasn't written
a
X-Files before, right?
Okay, so Carol Banker directed tonight's.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I believe that's a new director. We have a female director.
So I thought she did a great job. That was a phenomenal.
Yes,
he directed some wrote Lone Gunman back in the day.
I mean, female directors are perfectly capable of directing. It's not, you don't have to have a certain male part to direct.
No, I'm not. Did I make a female comment?
Oh, no, not you. I'm just saying in general.
Okay,
there's a serious lack of female directors in general. No, I'm talking about just in general.
Yeah.
David gone in season 9, it felt wrong. White tee was really good. Mulder hair on point. Yeah, I thought he looked cute in his little t-shirt. Stinker.
X-Files Resist or Serve? Oh, the video game.
That's an old game, yeah.
Oh, that's the writer.
I think that's the PS2, maybe PS1 game.
Gabe Rotter has done voices for the
So Sarah said she no on the Williams spinoff. The spiky rough hair was yummy.
You know what though?
Gabe Rotter.
I think because I really enjoy this character, but and maybe it's because I'm an X-Men fan. Like I feel like William could like jump series and end up on Gifted, You know, maybe he doesn't get a spinoff, but somehow they tie in those shows
better
together.
than that show because that show started off really well and it kind of went
gifted.
down.
They do a crossover, and somehow William ends up. As, he turns out he is an X-Man.
They brought in all these other characters that were mutants, but they were like 20-something-year-old types, but they're not very good actors.
Yeah.
So they're just pretty people, pretty faces, and they didn't act very well, and they were kind of boring. So I stopped watching. But
that's how I like my Mulder.
Spiky hair. Okay, spiky hair. I don't love the spiky hair. Y'all are crazy. I don't mind it messy spiky, but I think the spiky, it's like it looks too spread out.
Yeah.
What do you think about your boyfriend's spikiness?
I don't really get picky about his hair. I mean, I think he's perfect any whole way.
I'm looking at pictures behind. Just so you know, we have added a Jessica Jones photo.
Oh, do you guys see my tweet from before? Oh, Jessica Jones
poster, because this whole wall was David, and I was like, we just look like creepers now, and we probably are, but we don't have to look like it as much.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
We could cover it up a little bit. No, I actually have a whole bunch of posters. The frames are expensive, so I'm like, trying to buy frames. And then I gotta find frames that fit, because when you get these Comic-Con posters, they're weird shapes. Like I have this big poster that Joe Harris gave us for the Audible X-Files, and it's like a square.
Oh wow!
It's a complete square, not a rectangle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's over there.
Almost looks like a CD cover blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's be in the right place, right
Mitch
time. Like I said, it's all about that. Mitch is where?
Yeah, Mitch is there.
Oh yeah, we got
Mitch.
Mitch.
When we kidnapped Mitch.
Yeah. That's a great photo. That's a fun photo.
That was one of the funnest parts. And it all came out funny.
Where's Dita's other hand?
I don't know.
And of course, this one over here with that
one's
David
cute.
Reading "Holy Cow" to us.
He messed this one up because he was supposed to hold the book up so that people could see it was his book.
Mm.
So we were trying to give him some product placement in his own photo op, but missed the opportunity there.
We paid you to market.
No, because I'm like, he's like, should I hold it up? So he looks like he's reciting a Shakespeare. I'm like, what are you doing? It's all right. Just let's gather around.
No, yeah, William is Professor X without the wheelchair and before the bald head.
There you go.
Yeah.
Savior.
William has Professor Charles's powers for sure.
Yeah.
It's very similar. The projection,
You didn't get the notification.
Very powerful. Which notification? That we started? What the hell?
YouTube.
Oh my God! Well, see, now we're out of sync, so I don't know.
What
you're OMGing to, because I say so many things.
Maybe it's to David's hair being perfect.
Probably.
Any way he likes it.
Yeah. Oh no! I tweeted. I retweeted Jillian's PETA photo, saying that the ice bucket challenge is just like a challenge. Like now we all have to take nude photos. And then you were like saying, no,
we're gonna pay you to keep photos, clothes on.
Why? So I'm gonna combine the animals, the David's thing.
Target Zero.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm brain
tag Target Zero because they're
so I'm gonna go
good.
naked and rub myself with peanut butter.
Yeah, I saw that. I said I want to be excluded from the narrative.
And I said I go both ways at David Duchovny, and like, whoa, wait, like I hope everybody got the joke because it's kind of like. Oh, what did I just? Oh, that's not what I meant.
You basically implied that you were bisexual.
Yeah, bisexual with Jillian and David. So Jillian was tagged in that too from us in the reply. So
that's good to know.
So hopefully it was taken as a joke. And
yeah,
Avi thought it was funny. So a few people thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, she doesn't have you creeping on her concerts.
Jillian is naked for pita. That's right.
So
I'd get naked for pita bread. If it's good toasted homemade with some hummus.
Wanted to go through, see if there's
PETA lost me when they were complaining about the name Fishkill, New York about 15 years ago. I just moved to New York almost 20 years ago.
All right, we're not going to rant about PETA right now. Okay. So, although we don't like it. We don't like PETA.
I like the idea, but
okay, we're not going to rant about it. Oh, well, really? Really?
I've been holding that for a long time.
You need to hold it.
I mean,
What are deer cams?
Oh, they're like cameras you would have, and they have like some of duck cams too. But it's generally
a hunting thing.
I think you just call them deer cams because deer cams.
Yeah, deer comes.
Deer comes. Here comes the deer. Yeah, I think it's they put cameras so you can know where the deer are. And then if you're a hunter, if you're somebody who takes people out hunting, you can say, oh, we know an hour ago the deer passed here, so they're probably over here. And you could study the deer movements with the camera. So I think they use it for science and for And it was about Walt's DD adoration.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know. 50 Shades of Pita Bread. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny.
50 Shades of Pita Bread. I love it.
That will be my nude photo title.
I doubt you'll be banned. Well, you like us a lot. And I think David kind of likes us, but I also think he's a little bit creeped out by us, to be honest. But at least he's cordial and appreciative.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. Bows down.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Oh, the bald eagle.
Yeah, the bald eagle is pretty funny. And then cut to Skinner in the car. We
knew.
Yeah.
As soon as they said bald eagle.
So, hey, so how about Haley Joel Osment's performance tonight?
What someone else had mentioned.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his performance. He's done a bunch of stuff, and his performance was good. I just didn't love Pay It Forward because it's like, oh, they killed the kid. Like, that's when they're killing the cat. Anytime they kill the kid or the dog, it's always really hard to watch. And I love the idea of the movie. I try to pay it forward, I think, on some levels almost every day, or with the improv comedy training I do for kids. Blah, 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 blah. I love the idea of it. And the kid, Haley Joel Osment, I think even better than his performance in The Sixth Sense. He was just really, really good in that as the bully victim. And we haven't seen a lot of him as an adult. I think wasn't there something else he did? I know we haven't seen it, but there's some other movie.
Sitcom type stuff.
He pops in here and there. He pops in there, and really enjoyed his work and in both characters. Yeah, as the father and the son, it was very interesting. And when they finally cut to him with the necklace of ears, and I was thinking a little bit of Michael J. Fox's movie.
Casualties of War.
Yeah, I don't know if he had ears, but
movie.
There's a lot of one of the movies.
Sean Penn is in
Sean Penn. Did Sean Penn have something of a? But there was some other movie that's an homage to Full Metal Jacket, maybe.
Maybe I don't watch.
Hamburger
Hill. Can't watch war movies. I can't. I can do a PG-13 war movie, but I can't do a gruesome war movie. So it's an R-rating war movie.
Or Brando and Apocalypse Now.
We did have a pretty graphic moment though. When the guy got his brain shut out.
Yeah.
That was pretty graphic. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that. That's like 8 o'clock.
Oh, Baby Killer. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So did we learn why? That we were Baby Killer, or why he called him that?
I think the way Skinner changed his, Skinner is like smiling, like, oh my God, an old friend, you really think, everybody got to see John, like catch up and maybe repair old problems. Right. And then he's like, oh yeah. And this says, yeah, Dad called you the Baby Killer. And it's like, oh yeah. But it kind of goes, okay.
It's just the Vietnam thing.
We know he said that he wasn't perfect. And, a lot of people did things over there they're not proud of. They're following orders, and I don't know who's going around shooting babies as much as they shot into a village and stray bullets hit some babies.
Right.
You don't know, but even if by an accident that messes you up.
Yeah.
Maybe more so if you're a killer and you kill a baby. You're already messed up. You don't have consequences, but that messes you up.
Oh, he did a sci-fi movie with Jillian. Which movie did he do? Because I've seen a couple movies.
Was she in the one with like the robots and stuff? The alien invaders?
Hello, Debbie from Cincinnati. Yeah. What movie was this? Follow You Down? Yes, I think that's it. No, was that the name of the movie? Follow You Down.
Episode's great, Michelle.
You're watching 5 episodes. Yeah, I think you're gonna like it. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I'm just glad, we got to see some Skinner stuff.
Right.
And that's been a long time coming. Okay. And I really like that moment at the end with the three. With the three of them. It was very touching.
I need everybody to pick up my hashtag MSSR. Mulder Scully Skinner relationship.
Yeah, that sounds like a slash fic.
And it's not
a threesome slash. Yeah, but you know what it's
sex thing. It is,
people in this fan
for the
get
first
too creeped out by it.
In a long time. Like, we've always had moments where, like, okay, Skinner is there to save Mulder, Scully. Skinner's there. At the end of the day, through all the BS, Skinner is on their side. this was him saying, you know, through it all, that the two of them inspired him to be a better man, kind of a thing, you know, to challenge that he always knew that, you know, based on what
Shippy moments.
Yeah, it was a very Skinner Shippy moment.
No, someone asked,
Mulder
Curious Cat wanted to know if there was a Shippy. He shot the suicide bomber kid. That's what it was. It wasn't a babe, but it was.
Right,
he was approaching.
Yeah,
was pretty graphic. He was
approaching. And that was completely self-defense.
Yeah,
you know, the guy's coming in with a body full of grenades. Yeah. He pulls that string, and they're all dead. You know.
Yeah. They're on a 3-week hiatus because the Olympics. Yeah. So we're gonna be in Australia, so we won't be back. We won't be back to stream, I don't think, for the next one. The following we'll stream, and we'll definitely do a recap.
Right.
Shipper moments, no, just there was like one comment, little sexual comment Mulder made towards Scully, which was kind of cute.
Right.
So, he's obviously not afraid to make these comments because he's been doing it all season, and they seem a little bit more overt than in the past, although he's always made innuendos. So, teeth falling out. I tweeted this. I have this dream all the time that one falls out, and then another falls out.
Does that mean you're hiding something?
And then, no, I mean, it's like an anxiety thing.
Oh, okay.
And then another one falls out, and the next thing I know, I'm like trying to put them back in, and some of them do go back in, but some of them don't. And like when this started happening, I was like, oh God, this is like my nightmares where my dreams, like my teeth fall out. And then I wake up, I'm like, thank God I got my teeth, because I'm like, I should have brushed some more. So disappointed on a Valentine's Day. We're looking forward to, we're actually gonna be flying to New Zealand. We're gonna be on the plane heading out to see David's concert. So a year ago we were in LA.
Sorry, I'm distracted. In my mind,
I agree. MSSR, that is kinky.
I don't mean it that way.
Brings the pita bread.
You guys are sick. You twist everything. My love for David is not sexual, and neither is Skinner, Mulder, Scully as a threesome.
Yeah, if you just said it as a threesome, it is.
It's not sexual as a threesome. They are.
But if you say the word see-through,
MSSR is platonic activity.
If you say the word threesome, it's like USSR, but MSSR.
Back in MSSR.
So if MSSR is unresolved Mulder Scully relationship.
Back in the MS. Back in the MSSR.
Dude, I had a dream last week about teeth falling out. I woke up. I have them all the time. And they're so annoying because like I'm trying to put my teeth back in. And then in my dream, I'm thinking, I'm going to go walk around. And now this is going to be expensive. And I'm calculating having to go to the dentist as my teeth are falling out. I'm like, crap.
I say I'm very happy. I have learned how to fly.
Everyone's had these.
In my dream, I finally learned how to fly after 45 years.
This episode starts in 5 minutes. Enjoy it. Threesome sounds naughty. Well, threesome usually means 3 people having sex. It's kind of an orgy, so yes.
That's one thing it could mean.
No, that's what it means. No, Walter! Stop!
I tried to stop and I laughed and pushed it out.
It's like tearing ass in here.
It's a theme. I'm sorry.
I can't.
I'm sorry. It doesn't smell.
It can go with Mulder's juice. I don't know if Skinner's really wanting Mulder's
Skinner's threesome or my farts?
Yeah, I don't want any of it, actually. I prefer none of it.
Speaking of Mulder's juices, sorry. See, I was right. Walter left cheek steak. Oh, that was right.
Did you guys actually hear that? Did the microphone pick that up? It was loud.
It's like the plastic chair.
See, no, Walt, the thing is, we go to the concerts, and you need to do this when we go to concerts. Because when someone stands there and is like pushing their way up.
I do.
And you need to just be like, let it out.
I do that all the time.
No. You do it like when we're in the car on the way there. You need to do it when we're like.
They heard it. They heard it.
You guys heard all that.
Great. This is the one episode that Mitch might actually go watch. Like, what do they have to say about? I
know he retweeted the one I posted last night, the promo.
Right.
He retweeted that one. I had all these retweets, and now he's gonna
juices flowing. Oh God.
You couldn't miss that.
It's a good thing we're all friends.
You couldn't miss that part. Welcome to my life. A grown man just farted on the stream.
That's right.
The fart was
It's a live stream.
I felt all The vibration in Minnesota, it caused a tsunami.
You know, I used to say that you remember that earthquake a few years ago in New York? That was me.
Vibration.
Yeah, my stand-up.
You can feel that all the way down in Philly.
That's like the raunchiest I can get doing stand-up comedy for kids.
Wait, no shit. Teeth falling out dreams are supposed to mean death. Well, that's good because I've been having my whole life.
Well, anxiety makes sense. Fear of unknown. You smell it?
Yes.
Now? Oh, I don't even smell it.
Yes.
So I have to carry this now. I've had an interesting day. No, I was going to say, I've actually learned how to fly in my dream. All my life have been a dreamer where I could fly, but it was like that horrible, like Peter Pan looking, but bad, where you're kind of like pulling yourself through the air.
I just
right?
fall.
Huh?
I just fall.
So you fall? Well, yeah, you kind of eventually, like I would kind of like I'm trying to fly, and I would kind of like a glider land. It was never a hard landing, but it wasn't exactly a graceful landing. It wasn't a Greatest American Hero landing. All of a sudden, literally last night, I flew and I landed on my feet for the first time.
Farts are chemical.
For about a year, I've been able to fly faster.
They're weapons of massive destruction.
Usually my flying is like I have to be at the top of the hill
warfare.
And I kind of glide. And my entire life, I've had moments where I'm like, oh man, if I could just
you
fly.
Drop a fart in Brisbane. It depends on the crowd. If people are pushing and shoving to get up, who were just like walked in the door right before the concert starts, and like we've been there for a while, and then they walk in and they're like, "Let me get up to the front." He can fart. I don't care.
Depends on the food. All those meat pies in Australia, down under beef parts. Walt farts are clean trails. Chemtrails. Yeah.
Chemical trials.
I got MK Naomi in the backside.
Wow, maybe your vapors are part of the conspiracy. I can smell that through your phone.
Oh, no.
Remember when we had the stream and all we did was talk about Dookie?
Oh, yeah.
We're back there. The gas changed him, though.
Me?
The gas changed John Kitten.
And he did say he was a recruit, right? He was not an enlisted. And then they said they
experimented on him afterwards.
Right. Like Skinner said
he was a draft.
That's what I'm saying. He was drafted. Skinner said he enlisted. Yeah. So he wanted to be a Marine. He was a career man, and they took a lot of, back then that's what you do in a draft. I was actually thinking about this, with North Korea. We have so many more people in our country, but North Korea is almost like Israel, but like crazy on crack Israel, where they said I think everybody at some point is in the military on some level, you know what I mean? Or, a lot do, like a high population of the population is in the military at some, because it's not a huge country, but they got all those soldiers. What would it take? And part of the problem we had in Vietnam, like to go, you can bomb a country off the map, but to really go in and fix, you have to subdue the army. You have to go in with manpower. And we failed in Vietnam because we never committed.
They're not going to mess around with that. They're going to start nuking, and it's all going to go to hell.
Well, I'm thinking they're going to, and nowadays you don't need human power, but you need human power to manage. We could bomb, we could kill people, we can, but it takes manpower, human power, SpaceX. Yeah. That was interesting this week. That was, I'm thinking of all the times, the shuttle episode, which I know space, people hate the episode, but I always loved it only because I love NASA. My love of NASA. And I remember, I'm sure everybody else does, but the Challenger, I remember watching that in school. So as much as, space is a horrible episode by comparison to other episodes, I still enjoy watching it. There's always a special place for me. We're of the age that we grew up with the shuttle. The shuttle is almost the same age as us. We were probably 5 or 6 when it went off the first time. The Enterprise when it started flying. I remember that. That's one of my first real memories of pop culture history. And I was an 80s kid where it was still kind of cool to be patriotic and root for, America's going into space. That kind of, I was still, 2 grandfathers, World War II, Greatest Generation. There's still, and I played a lot of patriotic music growing up. Elon Musk, yeah.
I believe I can touch
Elon Musk is oddly hot. Interesting. Don't tell my husband. Oh yeah, I think you're safe on that one.
Skinner fell on these pointy
sticks. He was impaled. It was went through his chest. I thought it went through his arm too, or maybe that was just next to his arm. But and then he had Dr. Scully to kind of stitch him up.
That seemed like a pretty big boo-boo to stitch up pretty quickly. I don't know. Thought it went right through him.
The one did. Well, it went through, but luckily, it's probably just to the side. On the other side, it would have been more, maybe, but went straight through.
My question is if the sole reason Skinner hasn't advanced is because of Mulder and Scully, what the hell has he been doing for the past 15 years? Because they've been gone and they just came back.
Well, he's a career guy, so he's just doing his job.
He's had 15 years without them.
He probably,
So he hasn't to worry about them unless he just like continues to hold the same moral compass as they were saying, like not necessarily.
I just thought of it. I wasn't thinking of it because I
not
try
conform to what they want.
Well, no, I'm thinking about it, put in the same context, but put all that. Skinner is a career man who's been like a middle level, like a middle management guy. He's got an office, but he doesn't have the big desk, right? Kirsch's desk. How high up is Kirsch? Now, Kirsch is a career man, not a political appointee necessarily.
Yeah.
But how high up is Kirsch? And in context with what's going on, they made really brief references to Trump. Really like barely like, oh, the orange. I think they made an orange reference a couple weeks ago, right? And
well, that was David. He said Orange Julius.
Orange Julius, right.
On one of the talk shows. I can't remember.
Well, on the talk shows, I think he made some sort of. There was a brief reference. Well, talk about the current president
when they were in bed. When
they
were smuggling.
Right.
They said that the president was trying to take down the FBI.
Right. We're the times are different.
Right.
Yeah. And so where's Kirsch? In this FBI investigation, can you imagine, and not you don't put too much thought into that, but you think about the congressional, fake investigation of the FBI and the DOJ and the DOD, the memo that came out on Friday, thinking about Rosenstein, McCabe, all those guys. Where is Kirsch? We have what main guy, second.
So Kirsch has two jobs. FBI is his part-time job. Wasn't Skinner married before? Yeah, he was. Or is it my Mandela effect? No, he was. He's divorced though.
He was married to Mandela.
Yeah. So he was deputy director in season 9. So what's his level now? Was there a plane on his desk? Is that what he was?
He was assistant deputy originally.
Season 9.
Right, A.D. Skinner.
Yeah, deputy director.
Oh yeah, we have some work to do before we talk to Mitch tomorrow.
Walter Hoof Scully.
Yeah.
Skinner was married. There was an episode.
Sergey.
Whereas I remember this episode. The episode brought in his divorce papers.
Did we know he was Sergey back then? When we first learned about Sergey?
I think that was the original. Was that the original name of the episode? And it was wrong.
Oh, the name of the episode was wrong. It wasn't supposed to be Sergey.
Well, it's Kitten.
Oh, this episode was called Sergey.
No, wait, is Sergey the next one?
Well, no, his middle name is Sergey.
Okay, I thought that at some point there was a list of episode names.
I think you're right.
This episode
it was listed as Sergey.
And one of the, I think it was like X-FILES U or X-FILES U put it out, but it was wrong.
It could be. It sounds more like maybe that list wasn't wrong. It was just like working titles.
That sounds painful. Skinner's wife is named Sharon. Sharon.
Yeah, it wasn't dead center. It was like off to the side. You could see where, it could just take out some flesh and muscle.
Didn't sign the divorce papers.
Oh, really? She was trying to get him. Was she in that? Was she in the episode trying to get him to sign? Or? Oh man, I got
She didn't stitch him up. Just cleaned him and covered it.
Part of the problem is we've seen the first 3 seasons millions of times, right? We've probably seen the first 3 seasons at least a dozen times now. Of X-Files.
I've seen the other seasons.
And then season 4, the mythology season 4 and 5.
Oh, I'm all about
those. Maybe 100 times. It feels like we've watched those, but that's earlier actually. But the first 5 season mythology
the
episodes,
red and the black, and then Redux 2,
Anastasia,
Emily. Well, the Anastasia is the end of 3.
Yeah,
and then all of those episodes.
Right.
You have Terma, Tunguska, all those going into that.
Yeah, because back in the day when you had the VHS tapes, pre-DVD, all you got was
you got like 1 or 2 Monster of the Weeks, but you get all the mythologies.
Right. You had Tombs.
Yeah.
You know, and
Squeeze,
and I think you got Cerulean Blue and a couple of the big ones. But you pretty much got nothing but mythology. So we've seen the mythology so many times, and that's why, like, when we went to the rewatch a couple years ago, we never got past 3 because we got busy, we fell behind. But there's a lot, that ghost one from season 1 with the girl that's kind of possessed, and like the 5th episode of the whole show. Like, I don't really remember. Like, there's a ghost behind her while she's at the ATM.
You gotta stop referring to the episodes, because I'm like, you know.
Yeah, I know, and that's what we've only seen him once, I think, since originally aired.
Because a little sketchy on them. Like, I remember them, but they all kind of blur together.
Yeah.
With Day, whites are the secret ingredients in Orange Julius.
I have heard that.
That doesn't
before.
sound very vegan.
I've never been an Orange Julius fan.
I just like to make fun of it because, like, it was just always in the mall
when
I was growing up. Just be like, oh, Orange Julius. I don't think I ever went there once, ever.
I don't know if I think I've had it once. I remember my mom used to like it, and I never liked it. But they had something else I would get. They have a carrot juice. No, I don't think I drank it. They had a carrot juice too, I think.
Is X-Files on again? It's gonna go.
Oh, is this Bobby? Are you talking about tonight, or you're not aware of the season 11 X-Files that's running on Fox right now? They're into the 6th episode of season 11 tonight, where there was a major Mitch Pileggi, Walter Skinner centric episode. Yeah, Bobby Shane, if you're not familiar with what's going on, X-Files is on Fox, season 11, and you can go to fox.com, right? Is it Fox TV?
You watch all the episodes. Actually, you can watch every episode of X-Files ever. Last time I checked, you can stream on Fox.
I wonder, well, Disney bought them, so maybe they won't do it right away, but if you look at the Fox website, I see them about to do what CBS did, because they've got a lot of stuff.
Oh, like have their own.
I think they're going to do their own thing. I see that coming, because there's a lot of stuff to watch, and movies too.
Sergey was a fake news name. Yeah, fake news.
Yeah.
Alternative facts. L.A. Joel Osment is very fat. Oh,
it took me by surprise, but I thought it. It's not nice. I didn't say it because for that reason, but I was thinking it though. I was like, oh, Haley Joel, but acting wise, he did great. Like, I think maybe Haley Joel becomes the next what's his name? Like, young fat actor, not fat, but like the roly-poly star, like Superbad. What's his name?
Jonah,
like another Jonah Hill type character. Better actor by far, Haley Joel. Much better actor.
You met Mitch Pileggi. Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. I highly encourage you, if he's doing a con in your area, to go and meet him. He's super, super friendly and outgoing. And he gives good hugs. So if you ask for a hug, he'll give you one.
So we get to inform. I love when we get to inform fans that don't know what's going on. So Bobby, Mulder, Scully, Skinner, Cigarette Smoking Man, CSM.
Hulu has them.
Yeah, it's really good. Where season 10 was a letdown for a lot of people, season 11 is on point. And again, there are things that people find issues with, but it is one big thank you to the fans.
A zillion times better.
Yeah. It's one big tribute to the fans.
Are you going to X-Fest? We can't go to X-Fest because we'll still be in Australia for David's concert.
And March 3rd, we land in LA.
Yeah, we won't be back in time.
Yeah.
So I would have gone, actually, because I try to go to, when Mitch is around, I try to go to stuff.
I think we get back to LA because we leave actually Brisbane March 3rd. And with the Dateline, we land March 3rd. So it's like, we're gaining a day.
We're not going to make it back in time.
We lose a day going, we gain a day. It's like when we go to Chicago, you lose an hour.
Yep.
So
we're going to go back in time.
But I think we could probably get there in time for dinner with planes, and we would be totally useless.
Yeah, we'd be there.
Because we're going to be exhausted. Yeah. That's 17 hours to get to LA.
No money, wrong country for X-Fest.
Yeah.
Why they have it in the middle of the country? Like, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
It sounds like a lot of people are going, though, because every week they decide, we got money, let's add another star.
Yeah.
They clearly have cash.
Yeah, they got it's just like, I feel like they could have had it on one of the coasts, but I guess people in the Midwest don't really get a chance to go to get this stuff as much. So good for them.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, if it was here or nearby in any of the major cities on the East Coast.
Also cheaper. No, and again, they're having it because there's like a comic book person, or like there's a company that's hosting it that's centered there. And Indianapolis is close to a lot of big middle cities. You know, Chicago's the biggest, but Indianapolis is pretty big. And then it's a short drive from Nashville. You know, like there's a lot in that area that's, you know, like we could, what's 12 hours for us, we decided to get there. Not even, no, it's less than that, I think. Oh, no, it took us 12 hours to get there for the last one, just when we met Mitch. And, well, we saw Mitch again, but we really hung out with him a bunch. And all the Mitch Pileggis.
Yeah, Pileggi's.
The big gotchas, what? So
UK needs one. Just saying. I think he did. Didn't he just do a con out there? I think Mitch just did a con out in the UK.
I want to say he was in Scotland.
Back in December, he did one. If it comes out that way again, I say go. You'll just he's so great.
Yeah.
So great. Tell him you know us.
And follow Mitch on
Tell him you're
Twitter.
You're friends with Duchovniaks and Pileggi's.
Yeah.
He'll be really, really happy.
And I tell you, well, that I would say, you know, and Pileggi's too. Adidas Twitter feed. Mitch's Pileggi's or whatever, Mitch Pileggi's. But follow him on Twitter. Mitch lets people know where he will be. When he, you know what I mean? Like he'll tweet, I'm going to be at the con. He's really good. Yeah. And he interacts with fans more than most, I think. Like he really, he's retweeted us a lot lately.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty active. They need an X-Fest cruise.
Yeah.
I would get on that, but I'd be also scared.
But they've done it, right, Kathy? Like, I think they've done that before. Or at least, I don't know if they had a whole cruise of nothing but X-Files, but they've had, like, groups go on cruises together.
Really?
Of course, I don't think the stars were there. They just had groups go on cruises.
Just fans.
Yeah, right? Like, Kathy used to go on some of those, right? Fans getting together, or there's organizing it. But again, there's a lot of overhead. The stars want to make some money doing this. This is not their first love. It's a big source of income, but it's not their first love. They would rather be acting.
Are you going to San Diego Comic-Con? I've never been to that. I always miss like the cutoff for tickets and everything.
That's even bigger than New York, though, right?
Yeah, but
like
apparently
triple.
It's easier to get like press passes and pro passes.
Oh, really?
So we've been trying to get like New York Comic-Con has denied us press passes every year, but they always give us a pro pass, which really doesn't mean anything other than it's cheaper.
Mitch is very nice. He seems nice, they said.
Yeah, he's great. He really
Mitch is very approachable. I think there's two things that he has, and not just David and Jillian, but a lot of other stars have. One, he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he can handle his own. I don't think he fears much.
No.
You know what I mean? And he's just a big enough star that so many people want to get to know him, but he can kind of control his own privacy.
Right.
You know, we were walking around the hotel with him, and people were like, oh my God, that's Mitch Pileggi. But no one's like accosting him.
No.
You know, everyone's being respectful. And so I think, you know, he doesn't have anything to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But he's at that level. He doesn't have a huge team.
Right.
You know, he's very approachable, and there's no in between. And he will block you in a heartbeat if you're a jerk.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Oh yeah, don't be a jerk.
So be cool. But if you're cool, he loves interacting with fans. He's really good at it. In addition to liking it, you know what I mean. And sometimes I think that's, you know, it's just about being genuine. He genuinely enjoys and he appreciates, you know, he's just a really level-headed, normal guy in like the best possible way. And, you know, what does it say there? Mardi Gras parade. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's next Tuesday, right? Fat Tuesday.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ash Wednesday is April 14th.
Met him at New York Comic Con last year.
Yeah. Did you come to our thing? No, who is that? Yeah, Mitch at the New York Comic Con came to our club last year.
Yeah.
And we had about 50 people in our club. We had a sold out event and really cool group of people, you know. We were trying to get him back in April, and actually we were talking about having our own X-Fest.
Wales?
What is that?
Oh, Wales is where the Comic Con was.
Yes. You're absolutely correct. Yes.
I got you.
We were trying to have our own little X-Fest in New York, and we were going to produce it, but it was just too little too late. And there's a big West Coast or Southwest American, there's a big festival that weekend that Mitch is going to be at. And
go to that, man.
Yeah, if you get a chance to meet Mitch, he's cool. And he'll
you were the one that was late? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, a couple people were late, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And at that event, how cool was Mitch? I had friends of mine that were running late. They were outside, took pictures outside. I cut it off, and then they were friends of mine from the comedy world as well, and they're huge Doctor Who fans, big X-Files fans.
Yeah.
But I said I only cut it off, and he was willing to keep going. But it started to get attention from some people walking in the street that weren't being cool.
Right.
So I was like, let's go inside.
Yeah.
We're just about to start. So, oh no, it wasn't Dan and Jody. It was Al, the club owner.
Oh, right.
And his wife, and they were taking a picture outside. I don't want to cut this up. Let's go inside.
Yeah.
You know,
too much
because
tension.
we don't have a big security team early on.
No. Well, we had Karen.
Yeah, Karen will mess you up. I trust Karen's. I never feel my own safety.
Never done a Phantom Cruise. Yeah, I don't know if there's an X-Files Phantom Cruise. I don't know.
I thought you said. I know.
She just does cruises.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You enjoyed our improv show? Awesome. Yeah, we had a good time.
That was a fun night.
That was fun. I was.
And Mitch being the three-headed expert was great. Absolutely hilarious.
I need to give David a hard time about that because
Mitch did it.
Because he actually asked when we went to Vancouver. He asked, that's the first thing he asked me. He says, "How was Pileggi's?" And I'm like, "You're being a little sassy, bitch."
Did he ask you that?
That's the first thing he asked me when I went for the meet and greet. He's like,
funny.
"Hey," and then he looked at my shirt because I had the lyrics that I always have. Like I've worn the lyrics like for the past few concerts, and I'm like, "You've seen these already." And of course, it's my boobs. It didn't sound right. I didn't say it like I didn't sound like that. No, I didn't sound like that. And he's like, so he's looking, and I'm like, he's like, well, no, I pulled Brad into our photo shoot too because I was like, hey, come over here. I want you in my photo.
Let's bring another.
No,
guy.
I brought him in the first place.
Speaking
I wanted pictures of him.
Threesomes.
Yeah, you can get on that. I'll step out. Why do you have to make it awkward, Walt? No, like that's the first thing he said to me. He's like, "Oh, it's Pileggi's." I'm like, "You know that? I told you that."
I've heard this story.
Yeah, you've heard it.
I block it out.
I was like, okay.
Like I said, everybody's team.
But I missed a chance. I just been like, well, I should have just said Mitch did improv with us, and I think you're too chicken.
You said that?
No, I didn't.
Oh God.
I said I should.
Be nice to my David.
Oh, you're David. This guy is proclaiming David is his own. He's just past.
I'm willing to share.
He's delusional, man. He said, "No, you're not. You just said my."
Well, I gotta be first in line. But no, I'm saying,
a line of one. I'll go over there. I'll be in the Brendan Urie line.
When I say delusional things, I am joking. For those who
sort of
always,
there's always a little bit of
there's
truth
always
in
a little bit of truth. I am always willing to share.
That's disgusting. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't like this.
It's getting weird.
It's getting awkward. So let's get back to the comments.
I'm more playing up. Like I didn't invent the term Walt Tugman.
If you go to Comic-Con, say hi to Cousin Wes. He's on the show, The Expanse. They usually have a panel. They have him for Star Trek. Yeah, I thought they do, but Star Trek is a bigger fandom, I think.
Well, it's been around 50
They've got
years.
big movies.
Almost 60 years.
They've got two movies, and one of them wasn't very good. Well, one of them was okay. No, X-Files.
Oh yeah. I think X-Files wanted to be the next Star Trek, but Star Trek had that huge ensemble. You had Captain Kirk and the three main guys.
Slept too long on not picking up the movie when it was time to pick up.
Well, that's a big part of it.
We should have had a movie in 2012.
If they had a movie, they should have a movie in 2004. And what they probably should have done is ended after 7 or 8 and had a movie in 2002.
Well, that was
get to the movie sooner. And I think Fox was saying, "Hey, why ruin a good thing?"
Oh.
They were like RG3 in the fourth quarter.
What was up with Davy and the cats? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that creepy. Well, his dad was Kitten.
So that's why he had cats.
So I think the cat, he had the ferrets too, right? He had a whole bunch of different animals.
I don't know why.
Is he eating them? They weren't exactly pets. They're outside in cages. So I'm guessing that's how you keep chickens if you're going to either harvest their eggs or eventually eat them. I think those were not pet ferrets.
You're going to eat the ferrets?
He had they're either ferrets or muskrats or something.
I saw the ferrets, but I don't think they make good food.
Or they're bait for something bigger. He's a monster. He's going to eat stuff. Back in the MSSR, hey.
It's pretty nasty. I don't know.
I don't know if you're responding to me singing that before, or are you having the same idea, Kelly? I sang that. Back in the US, back in the MSSR. I
don't quite get the concept of why. I know the government want to control people, but why would they want to wreak havoc like that and make people?
Well, it said it was an imperfect early. They were going to test it on the videos, but think about it.
They showed the plane coming down. And at the
Well,
end,
at the end, it's a more perfected version, but they're
hysteria.
still testing. Yeah.
Why would they?
But
do
yeah, I
that?
think the original, I think you dump it in a town and they all kill themselves.
Great.
You know, just dump it in a town in Vietnam and they all go nuts and they, out of fear, they kill themselves. You know, it's almost like, is this connected? I know it was more William projecting the ghoulie last week,
right?
But it was, you know, I feel like we keep going back to that ghoulie theme. The if we could talk about, we have our video about it, but the X-Files Deep State game, you know, what does it say? True story, when Bush 2 was still a president and Al Gore was going around for Obama.
I met Gore at my university. I just so happened to have an X-Files shirt on. He said, "The truth is out there."
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. I bet you Al Gore is a fan. That sounds like something, you know, plays into his world. He's kind of a conspiracy guy.
Lost a tooth. Well, the tooth is out there.
Yeah. Oh, it was creepy when Al Gore said that. Al Gore, I think, you know, I think the reason he lost beyond, you know, Jeb and Florida, wherever you want to think there, say there.
We're not going to talk politics.
Well, no. Al Gore he had consultants trying to make him more of an alpha male. And a lot of that was, you know, right-wing conspiracy.
You lost your tooth in your daiquiri?
Ooh, don't drink it.
Which monster's scarier, this one or last? I think the ghoulie's scarier. That's got, like, the claws and teeth and phlegm. Yeah, definitely scarier.
That was more monstrous though, like, you know, like a chimera monster, you know, like a shark and a lizard or whatever. This was, you know, like demonic looking, you know. So
yeah, it was.
You know, I think all those claws and teeth were like horrifying, but there was something, you know, that just was like it was a bull skull or a goat skull, or it might have been a bull. It had the horns, and it was either a cow or a horse or a goat.
My question was, Davey was he trying to lure in Skinner to kill him, to kind of avenge his father's death, and then he eventually wanted, or was he killing other people, or is he just lost his mind and was killing everyone? Like, or was he specifically targeting Skinner?
Who actually sent the ear?
Because
how long was John dead at that point? How long has he been hanging?
Yeah.
And Davey said he hasn't seen him in weeks, but any part of that could have been a lie.
Yeah, it's probably a lie.
So he could have sent the ear and then killed himself. Maybe Skinner didn't respond right away. Yeah. He said, "Oh, Skinner's not coming." You know.
He did. Mulder did stare at the monster, but at the time it just looked like a mask. The monster wasn't moving, and I think that was him.
Right.
That was Davey in the mask.
Here's a question.
But after Mulder walked away, you saw the mask come to life.
Yeah.
So
that was Davey. It was just there like an ET moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was looking at it, and I was saying he's gonna move. That's him.
That's
he's right there, and then started moving like, yeah. You know,
that was so creepy.
It was such an ET moment. And then I tweeted that Davey's death was a Predator moment. Have you ever seen the movie Predator with Schwarzenegger?
Long time ago.
At the very end, Schwarzenegger makes the that exact kind of thing, but it swings down this way and gets the Predator, or it misses him, and he comes back around and gets him. But
nice. Shook my hand. That's great. But then when he said the truth is out there, it was weird. Well, he has the inconvenient truth. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, in 2008, right? When did he see that? When did you meet him?
So I feel like he targeted Skinner by sending the ear. Okay, so he lured him in.
Did he lure him? Did Davey lure him in to kill him, or did John? It's unclear if John's lured him in to more have like a last moment with him.
To kind of like get him back, or
was it always a revenge story?
Death.
Or
well, we know that he had the conversation, and Skinner felt guilty because he didn't testify in his father's trial, and his father went to trial and went to jail for 27 years, I think they said.
Mm-hmm.
So was it 27 years? I don't remember, but it was like something.
I was like 37.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And when he testified at his trial, he didn't mention the gas.
Right.
And so he said he was directed not to talk about it
Right.
by his superiors.
Oh, think of the math. It's been 40 years is 2078, right? It's 40 years since Star Wars came out. And that's like my Superman for Seinfeld.
Skinner I don't know. All I know is Skinner had a big boo-boo.
No, I was going to say, who killed the mother? Did the mother kill herself? Which was my original thinking, but maybe Davy killed her. Davy clearly has his issues. Or did the father kill her?
Does he have issues, or is he being affected by the gas that's being dropped on the town?
Well, he's affected by the gas, but he has issues because of
each other.
We always wonder.
The sheriff's teeth are falling out.
Are they though? Maybe
their teeth are falling out.
The person who cut the ear off, or the person, Davey said all those traps probably, but maybe there's more going on. Maybe there is more people killing each other. You know what I mean? Like there's something going on, because we know in the town they're clearly dusting the town, and it's a lot of different options there.
Something Skinner says, if it wasn't for Mulder and Scully, he wouldn't be there. And he also said Mulder and Scully came along. They taught him to shine shine a light in the darkest corners. So I thought that was kind of nice.
I love that monologue. I love that whole moment. And even when Scully pulls his shirt down, it's almost like tucking a kid in bed. There's an affectionate
Uncle Skinner
thing, MSSR moment.
MSSR. You stop with that. You need to stop with that. That's creeping me out. Let's see what we got here. The costume guy on the closet was Kitten, and he didn't die. Who was the dead body? The dead body was the father. The guy in the closet was
Davy,
the son.
Yeah.
The skull monster reminded me of the Village movie. Yes. That's a weird movie. Such a weird movie.
So I couldn't find it. Does anybody remember Apocalypse Now, Brando?
No, we didn't.
Somebody had ears. Like we've seen ears.
We didn't get an answer who cut out the ear.
Right. So it was either John or Davy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe John did it to send a message, or Davy did it to send. Like it's unclear at which point Davy becomes the father in the crazy killing guy. But I think the father is more killing because of the gas. I think Davy's more killing because his father was messed up, and he targeted psychotic.
Skinner by sending the ear.
Right.
That was Davy.
Right.
Nope. Davy was trying to get the FBI ear. No pun intended.
I think it's. I say I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to go to sleep soon. I got to do a show in the morning. I've had a lot of morning shows this week. My knees are tired because I've been doing a lot of shows and trying to lose some weight and whatnot. But I really enjoyed this episode. I'm enjoying this entire season, and this episode was kind of like, it was actually less hokey. There were I said it was a well balanced script, because I thought a lot of episodes were either too hokey, and I loved them in a good way. This seemed to pull back, and was just great storytelling. I think I got to give, was it Corey was her name? What was Carol, the director. Kudos. I really enjoyed the direction. I really enjoyed the script. I really enjoyed everything about this episode.
I like they had a little resolution.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they showed a little.
It was like a full house moment.
Well, no, it's just like a Stranger Things where they kind of wrap everything up.
Right.
And then boom, you see stuff at the end, and you're like, crap. And some X-Files episodes are like that. It's classic X-Files, but then sometimes they just don't get that.
Like, it's like Mulder and Scully are.
But he says, Mulder says to stop.
And Skinner was Bob.
Mulder Scully says, "We're with you." Well, David auditioned and be all through 3 of those parts. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of, so David's album comes out on Friday, but you can listen to it on SoundCloud now, and it's really good.
It's great.
So if you haven't ordered it, I say get it. And if you think you might want to order it, but you're not sure, go listen to it on SoundCloud. It's on To Company X.
We should do a video for each song. We can play the song and listen to it.
I was going to do one for each song. I was going to do...
for the whole album?
I was just gonna go through the album and give like quick little, be like, this is what I like.
Oh, but each song has a story.
Oh my gosh, I can't listen to the whole song each time. I was like gonna do a little quick snippet of each song and be like, well, this is what I think. You're gonna do a write up. You're gonna do a write up of it.
I should do a write up. Words, text is more searchable, but it's easier to do a video. I can just talk all day long.
Yeah,
my horrible grammar doesn't matter as much.
So we won't see you guys for 3 weeks, but I'm gonna do a recap.
Well, some of you will see next week.
Oh well, we're gonna put up videos. Our whole trip we're heading to New Zealand. We're gonna do some fun stuff. We're gonna go see some hobbits, right? And then we're gonna go to a concert.
I just hope I don't get stuck in the hole.
So as long as I'm getting a pretty good Wi-Fi signal, I will upload videos. You pre-ordered it, yes. Awesome. Friday you'll get the as long as I'm getting Wi-Fi, decent Wi-Fi signal, I will upload videos.
I'm excited
for you guys. So yep, we'll see you next week.
Awesome.
And don't know Walt. No. I think it's time to go because he's started tearing ass again. That's great. I'm gonna put a recap video tomorrow. We are talking to Mitch. What time are we talking to Mitch?
Tomorrow.
What time?
Afternoon. Lunchtime.
Okay. So like
this time tomorrow.
By tomorrow night, I'll post the video. I'll do a recap, and I'll also have a whole a phone interview with Mitch that I'll put up.
Yeah, send us your questions.
If you have any questions, send us at Larisse F, at Walt Frazier.
Yeah.
And we'll miss you guys too. But we'll be back. But send us your questions for Mitch, and we will ask some because we need some anyways. And I'm gonna have fun. We'll see you in 3 weeks. I'm excited. Back in the MSSR. We'll ask David to sing that.
Back in the MS. Back in the MS. Back in the MSSR.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a few weeks. Check back here for my vlogs. Actually, I have a couple other videos I'm going to post up too. I still have to put my David interview video up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a video of us talking to him.
We said this last week. We never put it up yet. I haven't had time. I got busy.
We have the audio and
we got to get ready for this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to pack.
All right. Good night, guys.
I need more socks.
Thanks for watching. Need more socks. All right.
Good night, everybody. See you soon.
All right. Bye, guys.